Okay, grade 9, so we're going to actually correct this worksheet together. It said it's about similar polygons, and some of you handed this in, and I've looked them over, and I'll get those back to you today, but some of them I probably would have done a better job explaining in person, so we're going to go over this. Okay, so it says state if they are similar, and we know that if polygons are similar, two things have to happen, okay? Their matching angles have to be congruent, so they have to be the same, and their corresponding sides have to be proportional. So clearly we can see here that all of these rectangles have 90-degree angles, so that checks that box, no pun intended. Now let's check the corresponding sides. 21 corresponds with this length right here, okay? So we can go like this, 21 and 14, and we get 3/2, or if some of you are more comfortable, we'll just turn them into decimals. It's much easier to see right away, and you don't have to worry about reducing, okay? So now let's check the other corresponding sides. I should have a different colored pencil. Now remember, we put larger over smaller. If you went smaller over larger, okay, that is doable. There's nothing wrong with that. You would have got decimal 6 repeating, and then you'd get the same thing in the bottom. But so once you've established that you're going to put the larger over the smaller, you have to continue in that manner. 15 over 10, and we're going to get 1 and 5/10, and bingo, that one is similar. Okay, now number 2. First things check out. Looks like all of the angles are congruent, right? So now we're going to move on, and we're going to check the proportions. And for some strange reason, I always, if I can, I go larger over smaller. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, and here 36 over 24, you end up with 3/2, which reduces to 1 and 5/10. Looking good so far. Now we're going to do these sets of corresponding sides, and we get 24 over 18, which reduces to 4/3, which is 1 and 3/10 repeating. So this is a big no. This one is not. We would write not beside it, okay? Question number 3. Now question number 3, I don't feel like I did a good enough job explaining in my video. In fact, I don't know that I even talked about this. So all the angles inside of a polygon have to add up to 360 degrees. Okay, and we have something here, and I'm going to teach you this before you get to grade 10 because it's a lost art, and it used to be in the grade 10 curriculum. Okay, we've got 2 sets of parallel lines here, and what's going to happen is if this one is 130, this one over here has to be 130. That's going to be the same over here. Okay, and then this creates sort of a line here. This one here is going to have to be 50 degrees. This one over here is 50. And so this one over here is going to be 140. And so we're not going to have congruent angles. So this is a nope. And I'm going to do a mini lesson on that. I've written that down in my book as something to talk about. So we're going to do that because even in this short video, I haven't explained that well enough for sure. Okay, question number 4. Our angles are going to be congruent. So that's a yes. And so now we're going to check our sides. So our corresponding side here is 40. Compared to 48 over 40. And we get 1 and 2/10 when we do that. And then we're going to check 24/20. Okay, and when we do that one, we get 1 and 2/10. You should be able to see that these fractions are actually the same. Okay, so that's a yes. All right, there's not many of them in this assignment. Okay, now this one here. This one here, you have to sort of flip this one over so it's facing upwards, and maybe some of you might even have redrawn it. I don't know. Okay, this 9.1 is going to stay here. The 14 moves to the bottom, and the 8 is on the top. Just so that you understand that we are going to take a look at the sides that are corresponding, the matching ones. So the 14 here does not match with the 10. It's the 8 that matches with the 10. So some people will redraw it, but you definitely don't have to. Okay, so when we do that, okay, let's compare sides here. I'm going to do the 10, and that's going to match with the 8. And I go 10 over 8, okay, which is 1 and 25/100ths. Okay, and now I'm going to do the bottoms. 21 matches up with 14, and when I do that, I get 1 and 5/10. I'm not even going to bother doing the other side because if these ones don't match, that already makes those not similar. So that's going to be a hard nope there. Okay, question number 6, same situation, right? Same situation here that you might want to redraw it. So it looks like this. Those are at the top. We can see that we have congruent angles. That's not an issue. 20 moves here, 28 moves here, and we get 12 and 4/10 here. So now we're comparing the 20 and the 25, right? So 25 and 20, and you're going to get 1 and 25 100ths. Then we're going to compare the other sides, which is a 35 and a, 28. And when we do that, we get 1 and 25 100ths, looking good. Okay, and then we do the weird sides. Okay, use a calculator for helping you out here. And we get 1 and 25 100ths, and lo and behold, strange numbers, but it works out. Okay, question number 7. Question number 7, again, they're not sitting the right way, so you need to flip them so that they are. Okay, and so when we are comparing, we can see this because this 5 is actually the same as this 16. So we'd go 16 over 5. Okay, and right away you can see that the angles aren't even working out to begin with anyway. And then 24 over 6. So 16 divided by 5. 3 and 2/10, and this one's going to be a hard 4. So no, that's not going to work. Okay, question number 8. Question number 8, they are sitting somewhat the right way, but we have to flip this one over. Okay, and so when you do that, you're going to get comparing sides here, and they are not going to work out. Okay, I'm starting to run out of time here, so I'm just going to tell you that this is a no, and I'll post the actual work that I did for this on the web page. 9 is going to be a no, that one doesn't work, and 10 is a yes. These are proportional. Okay, so this is the one I wanted to move down to. It tells you in this one that they are similar. Okay, so there's no questioning that. What you need to do now is you need to find two sets of a set of corresponding sides that actually have numbers in it, so you can tell me what is the scale factor. And you have to read here, it says the scale factor of the smaller one to the larger one. Now if you did this backwards, that's not a big deal. What I'm really focusing on is are you matching up sides? So smaller to larger, so 14 to 35, or what we'd say is 14 over 35. Now you could turn that into a decimal if you wanted, so you'd get 4/10. Okay, so that's what they're really asking. Okay, now they've said this is similar. Okay, so corresponding sides for me, I probably would have taken these ones at the bottom, smaller to larger, and again, if you did this backwards, I don't really care. 10 to 15, or 10 over 15, or you could turn it into a decimal or reduce that fraction for me, and you're gonna get 6/10 repeating. Okay, so this is acceptable, that's acceptable as well. Okay, now this is where it gets a little odd because they're not sitting in the right situation, right? We know that they're similar, but we have to figure out which sides correspond. And so sometimes this one starts to get a little wackadoodle for us because you have to be able to figure out which sides match up. Okay, we can see here, this is the longest side here, and this is the longest side here. But we don't have a measurement here, but now instantly we know this 25 matches up with this 5. Okay, small to larger figure, 5 to 25, or you can write it 5 over 25. Okay, or you can give me the decimal version of that if you want to, which is going to be 2/10. All right, we're almost at 9 minutes here and I have to do another video. Okay, so I will post the assignment with everything written on it so you can take a look at it. Okay, if you feel like you did it wrong and already submitted it, resubmit it. Okay, that's what this is all about. This is our only opportunity to have a little bit of a back and forth and change some things. Okay.